What's up, my fellow binge travelers? As crazy as it may seem, you really should not be going to Disney World this year. As the title says, do not go to Disney World in 2020. This is a warning to you all. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. First off, the reason you should not go to Disney World in 2020 is honestly because of the construction. Especially if you don't go to Disney a lot, or this is like your first time ever going to Disney World, this year is going to be a hard time to get the full-on Disney experience. My number 2 reason you shouldn't go to Disney World this year is because of the crowds. Simply put, no one likes crowds at Disney World, and this year is going to be extra crowded. I'm recording this on New Year's Eve, and at the moment of recording, Magic Kingdom is completely full. 100% cannot fit any more people, closed down, full to capacity, full. This will tell you how full Magic Kingdom is right now. Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride, 55 minutes. The Mine Train, 3.5 hours, over 3.5 hours long. 3.5 hours for a ride. That is absolutely insane. The crowds this year are not gonna let up either. Oh, and I just checked, the Frozen ride is 160 minutes. 160 minutes for the Frozen ride. And get this, Test Track is over 3 hours long. Oh my goodness. And the crowds aren't letting up, as I said. And did I mention Magic Kingdom's full? Here's my theory of why Disney World is going to be crowded for the entire year. Okay, so last year the crowds were pretty low for Disney standards, and this is because people were waiting for Galaxy's Edge to open in the fall. But the thing people were waiting for the most was the Rise of Resistance. And this didn't open until later in the year, and then people canceled their fall vacations and moved it to when Rise of Resistance was opening, which that just opened just now. So all the people who were waiting for Rise of Resistance to open are now going to Disney World, and they're planning their summer 2020 trips, their spring 2020 trips, their winter 2020 trips, any 2020 trip, they're now going because they didn't go in 2019, and now they're going in 2020 to see the all new Galaxy's Edge and all the new rides and whatnot opening this year. Crazy. TLDR of this whole thing, 2020 is going to be a busy year in Disney World. Reason number 3 you shouldn't go to Disney World this year is simply because of everything that's opening in 2021. Like I said before, if you're the type of person to go to Disney World every single year, you're not gonna have a bad time at Disney World by any means. But if you're the type of person to go every other year or just every so often, definitely wait, because next year, that's when everything's opening. That's the best time to go for the 50th anniversary. It'll still be busy, but when's it not busy? Am I right? So Josh, when is the best time to go to Disney World? You're saying don't go this year, but when should I go? I'm happy you asked. Let's go over the best times to visit Disney World, because you know I can't leave you guys hanging. I can't tell you when not to visit Disney World when we can go over when you should go to Disney World. Right off the bat, let's get rid of the summer months. It's not the ideal time to go to Disney World. Too much hotness. I can't even think straight just thinking about it. Too much rain, too much hurricanes, too many crowds. Summer, out of here, not the ideal time. Still a great time if you gotta go during the summer because your kid's school. I get that, but it's not the best time to go to Disney World, so let's move on. So for the summer, I'm qualifying May, June, July, August, get rid of you. September, we'll come back to you. October, you got Halloween, it's so busy, and just go. Okay, so now we have November, and don't worry guys, it may seem like I'm just making things up as I go, just off the top of my head, but I've looked at a million and one crowd calendars and done tons of research and spreadsheets and all this stuff for you guys. I'm just trying to make it a little entertaining. Back to November. As far as weather goes, November is pretty perfect in Florida. Not much rain, not much heat, but the crowds in November, you got Veterans Day, you got Thanksgiving, the whole week. There's still a lot of crowds in November. We're looking for little crowds, little rain, little heat. Can we find it? December? Okay, so December. You might think I'm gonna bash it because of Christmas and the holidays, but listen, the beginning of December is actually a pretty good time to visit Disney World, but the end of it, no. The busiest time of the year, do not go unless you just like watching crowds of people. Literally, you cannot walk in front of you like a centimeter before running into someone. Don't go to Disney World at the end of December or beginning of January. Way too busy. Like I said, Magic Kingdom completely full. You cannot fit a single ant inside of Magic Kingdom at the moment. Completely full, closed. Said that a million times, but let's keep going. January. Don't go to Disney World for New Year's. It sounds like a great idea in your head. I've done it, and there's way too many people. The fireworks are good. Just watch them from outside of the park. You know, I used to live in an apartment where you could see the fireworks going off in the backyard. Do that. You can go camping outside of Disney World, watch the fireworks there. You don't have to deal with all the crowds. It's insane. Okay, so what about mid-January? Is mid-January a good time to go to Disney World? And I would say, yeah, it's a great time to go to Disney World actually, because the crowds from the New Year's celebrations, they're gone. Kids are in school. It's a great time to go to Disney World. Not to mention the weather is also very good. It can get a little chilly at nighttime, but during the day you should be good. Just bring a sweater. Oh, and don't go during Martin Luther King Jr. the whole week. So you can go like 5 days before and 5 days after, but don't go, you know, that 10-day time frame. It's gonna be very busy. Okay, so February, it's actually very similar. Just avoid President's Day. Basically the same weather, same crowd levels, pretty low. Just avoid President's Day a week or that 10-day time frame just to be safe. Great time to visit Disney World, February. Okay, so March, we kind of did this in a weird way. We should have started with January and then moved on, but you guys got this, you're smart. But March, go in the first week of March, you should be good, because other than that, you're gonna have the spring break crowd and then it's just gonna be super busy. Same with April, there's even more spring breakers. It's not the ideal time. Weather's pretty good, but spring breakers, nah. All right, so we talked about the summer already. You know, busy, that's when everyone goes. It's super hot, rainy sometimes. I've been in the summer so many times. It's a great time to visit Disney World. Don't get me wrong, they're all great times to visit Disney World. So if you have a trip planned in the summer or, you know, December or whatever, you know, it's all good. You're gonna have a great time regardless, but we're looking for the absolute best time to visit Disney World, and summer's not it. So let's go over and recap. Oh, we almost forgot about September. We can't forget about September. I feel like September, no one really thinks about it. It's like no one's favorite month. It's, you know, whatever. September, great time to visit Disney World. Weather's good, crowds pretty low. Just avoid some holiday. Let me look at the holiday is Labor Day. Avoid Labor Day and you should be good. Before we do the full recap, think about what I'm saying here. We're basically saying when the school kids are out of school, don't go to Disney World. You want to forget those school kids, go when they're not on break, when they're in school, and you can have Disney World all to yourself. All right, time for the recap. Our first contestant is January, late January, early February, and early March. Don't forget about September, because we always forget about September, and we're immediately scratching off March because there might be some spring breakers. So we have late January, early February, and late September because of that one holiday that I forgot. I'm ultimately going to crown late January and early February as the winner because of the weather. Weather in late January, early February is great at Disney World. It's a little cooler, like low 70s into the 60s, maybe possibly into the 50s at night. Bring a sweater, you're all good. Perfect weather and low crowds. September is also a great time to visit Disney World. It's going to be a little bit hotter and some people may prefer that. A little bit more crowded as well because of the Food and Wine Festival. People out at Epcot and then they go to the other parks. And there's more drunk people during September because of the festival. So if that bothers you, I would definitely say January, February as your winner. But if you love the Food and Wine Festival, September and the warmer weather, September, you know, you could crown that as the winner. But today, we're going for January and February as my winner of the absolute best time to visit Disney World, just not this year. And that's going to wrap up today's video. That's every reason you shouldn't go to Disney World this year and when you should go to Disney World in the future. Today's video is a little bit different. I had a script all written out and I was like, forget this script. Let's just talk off the top of my noggin, a little more rambling, a little more movement. But let me know what you think of this style of video in the comments below. I read all the comments and I'm replying to all the comments. I'll see you next week. Oh, I just read the script and I forgot to tell you that if you subscribe, all your Disney trips in the future will be very, very, super, very magical. Subscribe.